Welcome to From Vinyls to Streaming, Tunes Through Time with Abbi and Judy. And I'm Abbi.
And I'm Judy.
And this is our podcast. We're so excited to be here.
Our very, very first
episode. So
if you've seen Abby's previous podcast,
yes,
with 801 Diaries with Emily,
yes,
one day I had a substitute, and so then we decided from there that we would make our own.
Yes, we had a lot to talk about, and we thought we would kind of do our own thing here.
We'll do our own thing. Abbi and I have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
We like the same kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
We like Mountain Dew.
We do.
We like, what else do we like?
We like car rides.
Car rides.
We like
Swig. We like Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
I don't know if we should say that. Is that an advertisement?
No, they're not listening.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A is not listening.
And if they are, hey, free.
Free advertising. But one of the main things that we love together is music.
And do we ever love music?
Yes, we do. And we love to talk about it together, and we love to listen to it together.
We do.
And it's something we've really bonded over. So, and from what I've heard from other people, and I know she feels the same way, that's a pretty common thing. A lot of people use music to bond with their kids. And so we thought this would be a fun way for us to talk about music and learn from you guys, and we can learn from each other.
Sure, and maybe we can introduce you to new music. I mean, I'm kind of in the older generation. She's younger generation.
Yes.
So we have a lot to talk about. And so every week we're going to talk about something new, but it will be music centered.
Yes.
And we're going to have so much fun, and we're so excited.
We are so excited. We are so excited.
Yes.
We really love like doing this kind of thing together. We love spending time together.
We love spending, and we can talk forever. You know, and music's really one we really enjoy talking about, because if you know us both, we both really get into music. I've always loved music my whole entire life. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, you'll know that we go to about 1 million concerts. We love concerts, and we love music. That's just all there is to it.
Yes.
So we thought, let's start a music. And, you know, and it's kind of fun because we'd like to hear from you guys, because we like to hear about music.
Yes.
You know, and you may agree with us sometimes, and maybe you don't, and that's fine. We're good. We're good. So.
Yes. And she has her kind of music. I have my kind of music. We do crossover a lot, I would say. But we definitely have ones where we differ. So
we do differ.
It'll be very fun.
But it's been fun. She's introduced me to a lot of fun music and a lot of good music, nowadays music.
Yeah.
And I've introduced her to a lot of older music. And we just love music.
Yes, we do.
That's all there is to it. We love music. So
yeah.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it once a week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we just really would like to, you know, share our opinions on music.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah. So, Mom, why don't you start? Kind of talk about your journey through music. Like, what kind of music you like? What got you into music?
Okay.
Those kinds of things.
You know, I don't know what got me into music, but I started listening to music when I was very young. I think a lot of it, I used to love to hear Casey Kasem's Countdown. I used to listen to it every week. They have it on the 70s on satellite, and I still love Casey Kasem. I loved hearing about the bands. I loved hearing about what they were thinking or why they wrote the songs, what was going on in the world of music. I used to just love just putting on my headphones and just listen to music. I probably made 20 mixtapes in the 80s. I just have always loved music my whole entire life. So I really don't know what got me into it. I don't know if it was maybe my older brothers and sisters were listening to music, and I just thought, well, that's a cool song. I like that. And then I just expanded from there, probably. So how about you, awesome. Abbi? How did you get into music?
I would say a lot of it has to do with you, because you were always listening to music. It seemed like every time we got in the car, when we were cleaning up around the house, like there was always music playing.
Always.
So I feel like that's what started me enjoying music, because it was just always around. And then I would say music, I feel like, is a way that I can kind of process things. Like, I feel like I am not one with words, but music, I really relate to music. So I feel like growing up, I always found music that kind of fit whatever situation I was in or whatever, and I was able to kind of process through things through music.
Me too.
And I also
agree
feel
on
like
that
it's always been like an escape, kind of, when
Very
things
good
get loud or heavy in the outside world, you can throw on some music and just sit down. And we do have a visitor, if you can see.
We have a visitor. And
She loves music
us.
too.
She does, yeah.
So she wants to be a part of this. But I feel like it's been an escape in a sort of way when I needed one. It's always there and it's always accessible. And
Yeah, and it will fit any mood.
yeah,
Any mood.
Yeah.
You can find a song for any mood you're in.
exactly.
And I feel like the same way with Abby. Like, it was an escape for me. I felt like if I was having problems or things weren't going well, I could just escape to music. And it was really what I like to do. And it was a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like maybe in the 80s I kind of rebelled. I was not a really rebellious person. And I think like through my music, I rebelled a little bit. So
A very safe rebellion.
a very safe rebellion.
Yeah.
So when we go through this, you'll hear some of my 80s, not today, but, my Def Leppard moments, my, whatever,
Yeah.
hairband
Yeah.
love. So
Which is so funny that was rebelling back in the day, because
Oh,
that's
it
pretty
was.
tame music, if you ask
it's
me.
pretty tame music, but I was watching an old Donahue episode, and they were talking about the evils of music, and they had Dennis DeYoung, who's one of our favorites from
Yes.
Styx. Well, he's not one of our favorites,
Yeah.
but
Styx is one of our favorites.
And he was trying to defend music back then because they were like putting labels on it, and I just think it was so mellow back then. But it has gotten worse, so I don't know. There's a debate there, and we're not going to go there.
That's funny.
We're not going to debate it today, but
But
interesting.
yeah, so we thought today we would kind of introduce our music, what we love, and kind of along that. So we both came up with like our top 5 favorite songs of all time, like desert island songs.
Yes. Now these ones, I find this very interesting. If you've ever done it, it's really hard to do, especially when you really love music like we do.
Yeah, because there's so much great music out there.
So much great music out there, and so it's a little I remember when I did this, Abby told me about it, and I thought this is kind of therapeutic because it was keeping my brain off of other things, and I thought this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So we're gonna share our top 5, and like with my top 5, I'm gonna say these are my all-time favorite songs of all time. They may not be songs I listen to very often, or at all hardly, but when they come on, I love it.
Yeah.
And I will stop and I will listen to it every single time. So that's how I defined my top 5. They just have stuck with me through the years. And they're true. And I just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say mine's definitely changed in the last few years. I've found some new artists or gone back to some old artists that I just love. But there's a couple in there that haven't changed. So,
Yeah.
but it's kind of fun. Okay, so do you want to do one by like back and forth or 5 and 5?
Let's do back and forth.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, so mine are in order. I usually don't have them in order, but I put mine in order because really there is an order to these. So I'm going to start with number 5. And my number 5 is the Beatles' Let It Be.
Okay.
I personally love the Beatles.
Yes.
We love the Beatles.
Yes.
I don't know. There's something about the Beatles that
They're just a classic.
they're just classic. I don't think they were overrated.
No.
I just think they deserved all the love that they got back in the 60s and early 70s. But Let It Be, I just think is a beautiful song. I love it. I just think it's like, just let it be. Sometimes we get so stressed and like life's so hard. And I guess, Paul McCartney was going through a hard time at the time when he kind of like had a dream or something where his mom just said, hey, let it be. Just let it be. And I just think that is it's actually very wise.
Yeah.
Just sometimes we need to
Such
let it be.
a great reminder.
Sometimes we can't solve everything right now. So just let it be. But I just like the tone of it. I like the sound of it. It just is a kind of a happy song, I think. I think it's just like one of those songs that just, I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful song. I think, and it's sung beautifully. And It was like, what year was it? I have put these down. 1970 it came out, so I was 2 years old when it came out. So I obviously discovered it later in life, but I don't know. It just has a beautiful message, a beautiful sound. I just really like it. So that was my number 5, 5th favorite song.
That's good.
That's number 5.
Yeah, that's a great
and
song.
Yeah,
that's
and it's a great song. And I don't listen to that often, but when it comes on, like the radio, or if I have like a hot fire playlist. If it comes on there, I just think, oh, I love this song.
This is such a good song.
This is such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So
No, that's a really good one. That's a really, really
there
good
are
one.
some really close ones though with the Beatles. They
Yes.
almost came to number 5. I don't know. They've got to be somewhere in the top 20. Like, I just love Penny Lane. I love Yesterday. Yesterday was teetering on there too. I was like,
gonna make the list.
Yeah, I really love Blackbird. I just think that's a really cool song. Just almost any Beatles song. I love the Beatles.
I like Eleanor Rigby. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Beatles
I
song.
love
I love
Eleanor
that song.
Rigby, too.
I think that's just such a fun song.
It is such
Yeah.
a fun. So I just love the Beatles.
No, I agree.
Always love the Beatles.
There's basically any artist that's on my top 5 list. There were like 5 songs from them I could have picked.
I know.
Like they're all so good.
So that's my 5th favorite song. Top 5.
Number
song.
5.
Number 5 of all times. So how about you, Abby? What's
Okay.
your 5?
My number 5 is, I guess that's why they call it The Blues, by Elton John. This song came out in 1983, so well before I was born. But I just love the song. I think it's such a romantic song, and like just
So
such
romantic.
a sweet song and it's like just beautiful. I just love it. Like I don't know. I think, and it has a really cute music video too. I will say that. I love music videos. Music videos are kind of dying now, which I think is so sad. I love music videos, and I feel like they just.
I know. Can we just go back to the 80s and MTV?
MTV, put them on the TV.
there.
I think that's such a fun idea. Just to
Okay, so
channel
this
of
is
music
really funny
videos.
because this is my number 4 song.
Okay.
So we've got a
we
crossover
overlap.
here.
Yes,
Yes, but it is the most.
it is. I think it's such a romantic song.
Such a romantic song. Like, it is just, like, you can just feel the heartbreak of not being together, but so in love, and you just miss this person so much, and it just.
Yeah. You're like, I guess that's why they call it The Blues.
That is why they call it the blues, and it is the best video.
I think it's a cute.
I love the video.
for sure. But it's just sweet, and I feel like this is also a song that I probably love because we both love it so much too. That it's like it has that tender attachment to it.
It does.
That's sweet. But I love that song.
When it comes on, I literally have to stop everything and listen to it, and
like put it full blast
full blast
and just lose yourself in the song.
I just Elton John. I mean, his
He's
voice.
so incredibly talented.
He's so. I don't know. Do we call him by their proper names, like Sir Elton John?
We probably should. I mean, he is a sir.
He is a sir. We're not in England.
Yeah, we're not English, so it doesn't mean as much to us.
As
But
it
we
probably
probably
does
should
now.
call him Sir
Yeah,
Elton John.
because I think he deserves it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just think it's really. I just think it's a really beautiful song. I was listening to it. I was trying to like prepare myself, so I was listening to it before this earlier today, and I was just like, it's a classic.
Yeah.
This is just a classic song, and it never gets old. And I think if it was released today, it would still be very
Absolutely,
popular. I don't
yeah.
think it sounds like an 80s song
No.
so much. It just yeah, it's just great.
I also feel like it's a song that shows his range so well because you have songs like Pinball Wizard or Rocket Man even, or like Saturday's All Right for Fighting. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Like all these like upbeat fun songs, and then like this really sweet like romantic song. Like I feel like it shows the range of Elton John very well.
It does, yeah.
And I just love it. I just think it's such a pretty song.
Yes. And I think I mean, you really can feel the emotion. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of songs that you can feel emotion, but that one you know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
There is just.
And
There
it's
is
such a
something about-
relatable feeling. Like
Yeah.
even because obviously this song's more of a romantic sense, but apart from that, like you've missed someone in your life at some point, and you've
And you
you've
just
wanted
feel
to spend your
sad.
time with them, but they're just not there.
They're not there, and it's
And
just sad.
But I feel like that's a common theme on my list, or they're very songs you can feel the emotion of.
Yeah, mine too, I think. I think so.
Because again, I feel like I relate to music. Like that's how
I relate to music.
That's how I process my thoughts. That's how I process my feelings is through music. So very emotional songs, I feel like
mine are too.
Yeah.
Probably mine too.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So that was my number 4 also. So, why don't you skip and then we'll go to your number 4.
My number 4? Okay, so my number 4 is You're Gonna Go Far by Noah Kahan. This came out in 2023, so last year. So this is a newer song. But I love this song. Again, it's one of those songs that like you can feel and you can see it too. And it was the last song on this version of the album.
Which album is it?
Stick Season.
Okay.
But this was Stick Season. So he came out with 3 versions of Stick Season. He came out with Stick Season, We'll All Be There Forever, and then Stick Season Forever. So this was the last song on Stick Season, We'll All Be There Forever. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it did such a beautiful job of wrapping up the album. Like in total, like this album is so incredible. Like I could speak for days on how much I love this particular album.
She does.
But this song like just wrapped it up so well. Like it's about how, you sometimes you have to leave where you came from and that's okay. And you have to grow and you're going to do great things and it's okay that you left us behind in a certain sense. And it's just such a beautiful song. Well, because I didn't go far. I went to the town over.
She went to the town
I went to the town over. But like, yeah. I think like even, any stage of life that you leave, there's a sense of loss with that. Yeah. And it's just such a beautiful song of it's okay kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Or yeah, I'll have to listen to that one again.
I love it. It is such an incredible song. And it does such a great job of like, cause part of the song he's talking about like physically leaving his town and like driving and he stops and looks back and can see everything, but knows he has to go forward. Like it's such a beautiful song. I love it so much. But the song alone, like it wrapped up this album so well. And then Forever, the other song he released with the last version of this album was also beautiful. But it's just, it's such an incredible song. And like, I just love it. I just love it so much.
He has a really good voice too. Like I think his voice is very
unique.
It's unique, but it does tell a story. He can tell a good story with his voice.
I agree.
That's what I like about him a lot.
And I'm a lyrics person till the day I die. I love music and I love production, but I need good lyrics and I think that's a theme with all of my songs. Are all incredible. Like they all have incredible lyrics, but Noah Kahan especially is an incredible lyricist. Yeah. Like he paints pictures through his words. It's incredible. I love him.
That's really good. Yeah, I really like him too. I like lyrics too. Like that's been my thing, but I also like a good tune. And I think I
think they have a time and place for sure. Yeah.
And I think he can do a good tune with his voice and everything. I really like him a lot.
I love him.
I do like him. I think he's been I need to listen to more of his music. This is one I really do. I need to just download the record.
It's that album. All of his albums are incredible, but that album in particular, I think there's a reason he got extremely famous from that album because it is so good.
Top notch.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be a Noah Kahan.
There's another one.
He loves Noah Kahan.
I love Noah Kahan. I love him. Well, I feel like he's an artist that he focuses a lot on mental health, on different, depression, anxiety, just all those kinds of things. But he does it in such a beautiful way. Like his lyrics are so incredible because like
do you know if
you can relate to him so well.
Do you think he's had a lot of...
Yeah, absolutely. And he's talked about it a lot, about how... And he has this... it's called the Busy Head Project. It's like a charity that helps... he takes money from all of his concerts and everything and sales and everything and donates it to this. And they help provide mental health resources in the cities that they go to. Yeah. Which is really cool. But I just think he's able to portray it in such... a like realistic way while also being universally true for everyone.
Well, I think with mental health too, what's interesting about it, it's in your brain. No one can see it. So it's really hard to picture what someone's going through. And if someone can actually do that, like put pictures in your brain of what they're thinking and what they're going through, it really does help because I think it's universal. I think we all have a little anxiety at times. I think we have a little depression at times. Some people have a lot more, and it's just something that's universally. I mean, that is something we all deal with it.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. Boo.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's kind of
so good.
It's kind of an interesting because mental health, it really is in your brain. And it's not like you get a cut where people can see. It's not like there's something people can actually see. It's kind of like pain, like pain.
Yeah, like
People,
back pain or
back
something.
pain or neck pain, or people can't see it. So it's like hard for them to understand what you're going through sometimes. So I think it is really unique and different when someone can actually put it down in words and you can actually picture it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think he's incredible.
He is really good, though. He's very talented. I will give him that. So.
Okay, what's your number 3?
Let me see. Okay, my number 3 is Duran Duran's Ordinary World.
Such a good song.
Such a good song. I love Duran Duran. I love this song because it's kind of like you were saying. It's talking about change in your life. He wrote, Simon Le Bon wrote it when a friend of his died. And he's just like, where's that world I had? It's all changed. Like, I want my ordinary world. Like, what will be my ordinary world? Eventually, like when there's such a big change like that in your life, there has to become another ordinary world because the ordinary world you had changed. And I don't know, there's something about that song. And I just feel like my life, there's been a lot of change, especially in the last few years. Like when my dad died, it was really sad, and I could really relate and hear what he was saying when there was a death. But just anytime life changes, like with Emily leaving, like now I have a new ordinary. I need to find a new ordinary life because it's different now, and just a lot of change. Like whenever there's a big change, you got to find this new ordinary. I think of Tyler, my son Tyler, and his wife having a new baby. They just found a new ordinary world. Like it's different what they had.
It'll never be that way again.
It will never be that way again. Yeah. And he captured it so well in that song. And it's just so beautiful and so relatable, I think. I think it's just a beautiful song. And I just love it. I love listening to it. That one I probably listen to a lot more than most others. But there's just something about it. That's one I kind of relate to. Like when I need to like find my ordinary world, my new ordinary world.
Or feel okay that you don't feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like at first you don't.
Yeah.
Like at first you're like.
Like I feel like that's a song you can feel this man's heartbreak. That this world is gone. This ordinary world is gone.
It's gone.
He doesn't know what to do about it.
Yeah. And he's like, it's just sad. But you do find it. You eventually do find your ordinary new world. But you go through it like almost all the time. It feels like. I feel like there's always a change. And it's just, and sometimes when you just need to hear like it's going to be okay. It's sad. Right now I'm sad. Right now I kind of want to cry. And I can turn, look around my house and it's different. This house used to have lots of kids here, and now it's just me and Timo, which is great. We actually have fun, but
But
we're
it's
not
different.
complaining.
It's different.
But it's different. It's just different. We found a new world. Our new ordinary is different, but it's great. And that's what I think you need to do, even though it is heartbreaking and sad. You need to make the best of your new world.
Yeah.
Unlike in Tyler's case, that's really happy new, but it's still different.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's just an ordinary world. I just like it.
Yeah.
I like that one. So
that's a great song. That's such a good song.
It is.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't know. I think I could listen to that all day, all night. I'm a person who can focus on one song.
She like hyper fixates on a song for months. And it's all like, it's just on repeat. It's all she listens to.
Yes. And I think that one has been on repeat like I'll listen to it for a long, long time. Then I stop listening to it and then I'll go back. Like I feel like that's where my emotions kind of needs to go back to it. Like it's pretty, like when I'm trying to find an ordinary world, or like when my life has changed and it's not what it was, and I'm kind of sad about it. Like, it's just that relatable.
Yeah.
Like, I will repeat that one. It's been on repeat a few times in my life.
Yeah.
Different times in my life. So,
I think that's great.
It's
That's
a
such a
good
good
one.
song.
It's a
Such
good one.
song.
so.
Okay. My number 3 is Orange Juice by Noah Kahan. Another Noah Kahan.
I know I've heard this, but I
I know.
can't remember.
So this is honestly one of the most like beautifully devastating songs in the whole entire world. I love it so much. I think this is one where the lyrics are incredible. And I could go on and on about how much I love the lyrics, but the music and the production behind it adds to it, where I feel like it's not just the music behind lyrics, like it adds to the lyrics and adds to the feeling of this song so incredibly well. And it's just so like it's a perfect song to me, in my opinion. It's has beautiful, emotional, relatable lyrics with this incredible production behind it that builds and tells the story along with the lyrics in such an incredible way. And this one was on the original version of Stick Season. So this one came out in 2022. But it's so incredible.
You know what else I like about Noah Kahan? Like, I don't know a lot of his songs. Like, I've heard she's played them for me,
but
I don't know a lot of songs. But what I do notice about Noah Kahan, he can like layer songs really well, like with music and his voice, and like there's things that he just can layer music. It's really cool to listen to him. Like, I kind of gotten more into the melodies of his like tunes because I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
So I haven't really gotten into lyrics with him, but I just find him so fascinating how. Like, the one song I like is there's a banjo in it, and the way the banjo goes and how it leads into, like, introducing Post Malone kind of a thing. It's really cool.
It is really
It's
cool.
really cool. And how he layers it is pretty amazing.
But this song, it's about like kind of coming back to your home changed in a way.
It's hard.
And it's so incredible. Everyone needs to go listen to all of these songs, but it captures the feeling of I'm back with these people who I once knew a different person so like well, because I think we all experience that in some degree or another, you know, because we do change. We're humans. We grow, we change, you know. Sometimes we have to take ourselves out of situations, and sometimes, you know, situations take us out of them, you know, whether that was by choice or not. But we change and we grow, and sometimes we have these moments where we're in a situation and we're like, I've outgrown this, and I'm a better person because of it. And I think that is it's a feeling I don't find captured in music very often, at least, or in art in general. And it's just beautiful. Like, it's just, I feel like Noah Kahan especially can take very specific moments, and like this is a song that's not autobiographical to him, but because it's about, you know, someone who kind of lost themselves to alcoholism and then went and got sober and came back, and, you know, he drank the orange juice in the kitchen, you know. He didn't, like, they were able, his family wanted him back and everything, but there was a lot of pain in that situation. So when he did come back, he was a different person, and that's okay, but there's a lot of complex emotions that come with that. But I feel like he takes these very specific situations and makes them universally felt, if that makes sense.
Well, I think a lot of times if you've gone through a real growth experience and you go back to where you were, like the place you were, not the person you were,
Yeah.
It really does. You
can feel it.
You can feel a different, or even if there wasn't. Like, I even like remember going, like, when my dad died, we went, like, the funeral was at a church that I grew up in. Like, it was where the only church I ever went to. And when I went back, I'm like, this is different.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
different.
not who I was.
I'm not who I was back then. And thank goodness. I was really shy. But I've also grown a lot, and you just feel that. I mean, places will do that to you. Circumstances will do that to you. You don't hear that too much.
No,
but everyone felt it.
But everyone feels it.
Everyone has felt it.
It's so incredible. But this song more than others, the music builds with the story, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I just love this song so
Even
much.
like when you go back to your old high school or something.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
This
And not
is-
that the situation was bad or anything,
Yeah.
but you're just a different person.
You're just a different person. But you can feel that person still inside
Yeah.
you a little bit.
Mhm.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
But yeah, I love that song.
I can see why that's one of your favorites.
Yep. Alrighty.
Okay, so my number 2, and I really don't have a reason for this one other than I just love this song. Love this song. And it is Dream On by Aerosmith.
That is such a good song.
I have, when I was little, I heard this song. So Aerosmith, I didn't really know who they were growing up until Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie. And they scared me so bad. That was the part of the movie that scared me so bad. And but I would hear this song all the time that I loved. And every time it came on, I just loved it, loved it, loved it. And I found out that it was this song, Dream On, by Aerosmith. And I was like, ooh, those scary people. But now that I'm older, I don't find them as scary. But in Sgt. Pepper's, they were supposed
They
to be
were
scary.
scary in Sgt. Pepper's.
They were scary.
They were scary.
That's their druggy days. But, and I don't know. I don't know if that's ever changed. But
I think it was the storyline. They were supposed to be scary.
yeah,
They were supposed to be scary. They
But-
played their part well.
I just love this song, and it has good words to it because he wrote it when he was Steven Tyler wrote it when he was young, and it just talks about dreaming, like like live your life, make dreams and make them come true, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the tune. A lot of it's the tune. I think it's just I don't know if it's his way of singing it too. It's definitely the way he sings
Yeah,
it.
it's a very vocally impressive song.
It's very vocally impressive. And I don't know. I really don't know why this is my number 2, but I love it. I seriously listen to it anytime, anywhere.
If it comes on, she's listening.
I'm listening to it. And that's one I could play on repeat for weeks too. Because I don't know. I just don't know what it is. But I love it so much. And we saw him in concert not too long ago. And
yeah.
when he played that, I got the piano out and the smoke was coming out of it. I was just like, I love this song.
Yep.
I love it so much. So there's no reason behind this one.
No, but it's a great song. It is such a great song.
Great song. I just remember it came out in 1973. So I was 5 years old when it came out. So it was kind of like I must have just heard it on the radio. I just remember hearing the song that I just loved so much. And then when I found out it was Aerosmith's Dream On, I was like, what? It's Aerosmith? And then I'm like, yeah, it's Aerosmith. Like, now I know. Now I know Aerosmith. It makes sense. But, yeah, Steven Tyler, good song.
Yes.
Very good song.
That is such a
I
good
love
song.
that song so much. And I could listen to it. I could listen to it anywhere, anytime. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason why it's a top song. It just is. It just is a top song of mine. I just love the way it sounds.
Yes. It's a great song.
It's just a great song.
It is a great
It's
song.
an all-around great song. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Aerosmith. I love Dream On.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's one that you can kind of sing along with, and you can sound really stupid because Steven Tyler's hitting some pretty high notes there.
He's doing the most.
He's doing, and I don't know. It's just kind of like one of those.
But it's got a good beat to it. It's got a good guitar, good piano. Like
I don't know.
it's
It's
a
kind
great
of like
song.
you just want to sing it with
Yeah.
it. Like you want to sing it just like Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just love that
It's
song.
such a good song. No, it's such a great song.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your number 2
Okay.
song, Abigail?
So my number 2 song is Dead Sea by the Lumineers.
I don't know if I know the song.
You do.
Do I?
Well, you've heard it for sure.
I know I've heard it.
Yeah. But this came out in 2012. It came out on their first album. And this song is kind of funny because when I first heard this song, I was like, what the heck is this song? This is so weird. Like, it's this beautiful romantic song, but he says, you're like the Dead Sea. And I was like, who on earth wants to be compared to the Dead Sea? Like, that's such a weird thing to say. So I feel like I took a lot of time to really understand this song, and it is the sweetest song ever. It is so sweet because it's like he says, "You're like the Dead Sea. I'll never sink when you're with me because you can't sink in the Dead Sea because there's so much salt in it." I think it's just like that's like I feel like it's a beautiful representation of what like everyday love should be. You know what I mean? Like you're just holding each other up, doing things together. Like you'll never sink when you're with me because you're my Dead Sea. Like I think that's such a sweet song. I think that is such a sweet song, and it's a beautiful song, and I love the Lumineers. I feel like they're such a unique band where they like Wesley, the lead singer. He has such a unique voice, and I love them. But I think it's just that's such a sweet song, such a sweet song. Let me plug in the battery real quick. Oh my goodness.
My battery's dying. My computer doesn't last long. Sorry, people. So,
and we're back.
So Abby, like, we drive a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Abby's put on the Lumineers quite a few times for me. Like as we're driving to St. George or something, we'll listen to Lumineers. So I know I've heard this song.
Yeah, you have.
I do like the Lumineers. I like their style. Their
kind of folky music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like folk music.
Kind of folk
Alternative
music.
folk.
Yeah, it's more alternative, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But I love it. I just think it's such a sweet song. Like, it's just like a sweet song. I love it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That's
That
all I
is
really
really
have to
sweet.
say on it. I think it's a really cute song.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's
Sometimes
so sweet.
you don't need to say a lot.
Yeah.
The song
Speaks for themselves. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think sometimes Abby is a lot more of a lyricist than I am.
I just love lyrics. Like I really do just love lyrics because again, I'm not someone who processes her emotion well or at all.
At all.
And I feel like through music and through other people's words, I am able to. And I just love it.
I like that too. All right. So my number one song, the number one of all time favorite songs is a Bee Gees. Gotta love the Bee Gees. I love the Bee Gees.
You love the Bee Gees?
I will love the Bee Gees forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And if Barry Gibb or Sir Barry Gibb.
Is he a sir?
He is a sir.
Congratulations, Barry Gibb. I did not know that.
If he ever listens.
We love you.
We love you. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it. But my number one, I mean, there could have been a million of these. But my number one song is Words by the Bee Gees.
Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite song when I was young, back in the 70s. It came out in 68, good year, I'm going to say.
Why was that a good year?
It's because the year I was born. And
the best year.
The best year. And I don't know, it's just, that one, it's another good love song, you know. Like, all he had was his words to,
take your love away.
Yes. I don't know why. I just have always thought it was the most romantic song and just a beautiful song sung by Barry Gibb.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a beautiful song.
And I don't know. The Bee Gees are just, the way they harmonized and everything, there's just too many. Just too many. Like, I could probably put 3 or 4 songs in that number one category from the Bee Gees. But I had to come down with one, and that was it. Because that's the one I've loved as long as I can remember. I have always loved that song. Mm-hmm. And I will always love that song.
Yeah.
And
no, that's such a great song. We were talking about this the other day, and she mentioned that she loved that song. And I was like, I don't know if I remember that Bee Gees song. Like, I feel like I have a very good knowledge of Bee Gees. And I was like, I couldn't remember it. And then all of a sudden, like a couple days ago, it hit me, like what this song was. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a great song. Like, how could I have forgotten about this song? It's such a beautiful song. It is such a good one.
It is a good one. To Love Somebody was a close second.
That's a great one, too.
We might have to do a podcast on, like, certain groups like the Bee Gees and just talk about their songs.
Because how can you mend a broken heart?
How can you,
the greatest breakup song ever.
Oh, heck. If you ever had a broken heart and you're going through it, let me tell you, if you have a broken heart, someone just made you sad, go listen to that song, and you will feel every feels of that one. So yeah, but yeah, I came down and it was Words.
It's a great song. That's
It
a
is
good one.
absolutely my favorite song. And I don't know, I don't know. The tune, it's the words and the like what he says. It's very good. It's Bee Gees. I mean, how can you go wrong? It is perfect in every way. So that's why it's my number one song.
I think that's a great number one song.
And I could listen to it all the time. That one I might actually have to put on a loop here soon.
That will be the next hyperfixated song. Yeah. It's a good one to hyperfixate on.
It's really good. It's really good.
That's good.
I've kind of, like sometimes when you don't hear them all the time and then you start thinking about them, you're like, oh man, I do need to listen to that more. Because I just love it. Love it so much. So
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
My number one song.
Yeah.
How about yours, Abby?
Okay, so mine is going to come as a surprise to no one. It's a Taylor Swift song, which, if you know anything about me, you know how much I ride or die for Taylor Swift. But it's Tolerate It.
Oh, yeah.
The song came out in 2020. It was on Evermore, which was the second album she came out with that year. But this song, again, if you might have noticed a theme where I love really sad songs. I love sad music.
She never cries.
I don't.
She is in her.
I'm in my tender year.
In her tender year, but I've never, this girl hardly has ever cried in front of me unless she's hurting about, like a friend that got hurt once. She started crying. I'm like, what's wrong? I thought maybe this friend was seriously, and she was just like, I just so sad seeing her like that.
I remember that.
And I was like, and then she had another friend recently that has cancer, and she just started crying, and I was just like, so this girl doesn't cry too much.
I don't cry. I take my cries very seriously.
She does take her cries very seriously.
I don't pass them out for just anything.
So that's why I think she does.
But that's probably why I go towards sad music. But this song is, I feel like it's another one of those songs that's a very like specific experience that's universally experienced kind of thing. Where, so the song's about, she is in love with this person and he's just kind of tolerating her. She's giving all her love, everything she has to do. She's setting the table with her fanciest dinnerware and he's just, tolerating it. And I feel like, it's such a specific universal experience because everyone's felt tolerated before. You're trying your best. You're trying to, mean a lot to this person and do nice things for this person. And they just aren't giving you back what you need from that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't even have to be like someone you like a boy or something you like or anything. It can be just like anyone. Like
friendships. Or any other kind of relationship.
Any kind of relationship.
Like I feel like a lot of people, a lot of us have really big hearts and we're doing our best to give all we have to give to these people who we love. And it's being tolerated. And it's...
Yeah, and who wants to be just tolerated?
Yeah.
It's so sad. I think everybody has felt just tolerated.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they just... Yeah. Like, and you're trying your hardest. Oh, yeah. I think we've all felt tolerated.
And she the song is written so beautifully because you can see it. Like, you can see it and you can feel it and you're like, this... And especially, I think, when she had it on the Eras tour, she took it off, which I'm really upset. She took it off the set list. But she set the table. She did this whole big production thing for this song, which I was so glad because it's such a beautiful song, deserves all of the time.
Yeah.
But you're able, like, you can feel kind of the anger, but also just the heartbreak of just not being loved the way you deserve to be loved. And I just love it. I think it is such a beautiful song.
I like that one too. That's one of them I really like of hers too.
And I think it's one thing because especially recent Taylor Swift, she writes poems. Like, her songs are poems. The lyrics and everything are just so beautiful and so complex and everything that I think they would be more accurately described as poems than as songs. And this is one of those in the sense of it's beautifully written and everything, but it's so relatable and so like it's a heartbreaking feeling that everyone feels. Like, I just love it. I just love it.
Yes. You know, I don't know who that one's about.
Well, it's supposedly fictional. But.
Okay, so it's supposedly fictional. But, you know, because that's one thing about, that's one the criticism I have about Taylor Swift. I don't like her dogging on people.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, I don't feel like it's so much a dog. I think it's something you just feel. And it just really, it is something, it's just awful to be tolerated. I don't like being tolerated.
No.
You want to be accepted. You want to be loved. You want to be around
And you want to be
everyone.
celebrated. And you deserve to be celebrated.
Yes, because we do a lot of good things.
Yeah.
People do a lot of good things for us. And I don't know. And I probably have just tolerated people too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Both ways, it is a universal experience.
Yeah, which is kind of
whether
sad.
it's intentional or not, which hopefully it's not. But
Hopefully it's not. But
I mean, we all have
we've all had moments.
But I just think it's such a
But
great
it also
song.
gives you a perspective on how people feel
Yeah.
when they are just tolerated. So yeah,
But I think it's such a great song. And there was one song that almost beat it out. I was trying to pick my favorite Taylor Swift song, and there's one song from her new album that I love. But it's because it's her new album. It's too new to put as my top song. But I just think she does such a great job of painting those pictures. The Black Dog from
don't know that
her
one.
new album. That song is again incredible. But I just love this song. I just think it's such. Again, it puts into words a feeling that I feel like we don't talk about as often as we should.
I would agree. I agree.
So
these are our top.
These are our top five
songs, and it kind of shows you where we are. Like that's why we're vinyl to
streaming.
because we're two different eras here.
I mean, my songs went from 83 to 2023, so that's
I know, and
40
I think,
years.
Yeah, and I think mine went from the 60s to the 90s.
Yeah.
So, but that's all right.
Yeah. So we range over a lot of music, and we
Yes.
have very, very wide range or a varied view.
Yeah, very. So we just like to talk music, and we're going to talk music with you guys.
Yes.
And we hope you guys want to follow along and listen to us. We also would like to know what your top 5 songs are, because at least an estimate. It's just, you know, if you ever want a good, like when you just really need to think about nothing really, think about that, because it's really hard to come down to 5 favorite all-time songs, I think.
Because there's so much incredible music.
There's so much music out there. You know, and Abby and I, we have a big range of music, like from 60s. I mean, even Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
We could probably talk to you about Frank Sinatra if you want to. Up to anything that's Abby's.
I mean, Taylor Swift
Or Noah Kahan. I think
Yeah.
he's probably one of the newest. You know, probably our least favorite's country, but we will talk country.
But also, I feel like I've been too hard on country, so I'm open to suggestions. If you guys have suggestions for good country music, send them our way, and we'll listen to them.
We'll listen to them, and we will
Review
them for you, because we're kind of a blank canvas when it comes to country music. You know, I have my Waylon Jennings, a little Garth Brooks I like, him too. That's about it.
But that's about it. So
I mean, I just haven't opened my brain to it. But we are willing to open our brains to new music. So if you have suggestions for us, we will review it. We'll listen to it and review it. We also, what else?
But we're always looking for new music too.
Always
so if
looking for
you,
new music.
so please write down it doesn't have to be your top 5, but like a couple of songs that you guys love.
Love.
And send them to us, because we want to hear.
So how can they do that? Because I don't know.
Okay, so we have social media. So we have Instagram. It's just from vinyl to streaming on Instagram. So you could DM us. If you're on YouTube, just put it in those comment section. You should be able to text us in the description. It should say, if you're not on YouTube, if you're on anything other than YouTube, it should say send us a text message. You can send it that way. But follow us on Instagram and on TikTok.
We'll probably put a post to this one on Instagram.
Yeah, on
and
our
you could
story.
probably make not even just do it on
a hard post. We can do a hard post.
And you can put comments on there, like comment what you might like, because that might be easier for some people.
Yeah.
People
And
like
then other people
me
can see
who
it
don't
too.
know too much about technology. We want to make this as easy as possible, because I don't know either. I don't know. I just don't know.
No, I think that's great because then other people can see it too. So we can get some feedback. Everyone can get some feedback.
So yeah, so we're excited to get this off, and we're hoping that you enjoy what we talk about. We're going to talk about all sorts of music. We're going to talk about concerts. We're going to talk about
all sorts of things.
Yeah. I mean, it's all music related. I think everyone should be able to relate because if you're like Abby's age, she relates to my music well. And I kind of relate to her music too. I haven't listened to it as much, but there's some I do.
But she will now. This will give it an excuse for her to listen to all my music.
So now all the ones that she has told me about, I mean, I know I've heard them, but I'm going to go and listen to them.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to be able to understand what she is saying a little bit more, and I'm excited. And Abby's probably heard my top 5 million times. So.
But they're always good to revisit.
Always a classic.
Yes.
So that's just what we're into. I hope you all will join us on our little journey of music, and music.
Yes. And if there's anything you guys want to hear or any suggestions you have, send them our way.
Send them our way. We'll talk about any kind of music.
Yes.
Like any kind. So
and share it with your friends and family.
Yucky music. I won't talk about it.
I'll talk about yucky music.
Yeah. So she might.
No,
I might just say it's yucky. I don't know. But you'll never know unless you put it there if I think it's yucky.
Exactly. So, but share it with your friends and your family. I think that's it for this week.
It is. So,
alrighty.
Yeah. So, what is it? From vinyl
to streaming. Tunes Through Time with Abbi and Judy.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Is it Spotify?
Yeah, so we're on all of the streaming platforms. So whatever your preferred streaming service is, follow us on there, and rate us if you enjoyed it. We appreciate it.
5 stars.
5 stars.
All right.
Alrighty. Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye.